Hi, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss regarding default module, right? So last class we have discussed global object, like how some of the global object are there and we can use it to know about our system, like some of the global object like directory name underscore underscore dir name and underscore underscore file name was there, process was there where we can get to know what is the version of our Node.js. So many things we have studied, right? That last class global object. So today we are going to check with modules, okay, default modules from Node.js. So default modules, so first of all, we'll go for introduction and we'll check what are modules. So basically modules are small like piece of code or some chunks of code like which help us to do some specific work, right? So either it can be we can get it from some other place or we can build it ourselves or we can get it from Node.js. So three ways are there, right? So there are different types of module available in Node.js. See, so first type of module is built-in module. So built-in module is what? Like whenever you install Node.js in your system, so what happens? Some of the default module will be installed with the Node.js installation. Okay, so those modules you no need to install to use it, like how you used a global object like console you have used with console.log we have used right here. So I think I can show you, see, so console, so many things you have used but you have not written your own code right for the console. So directly you are using and it's getting used for displaying the message. So same way these modules are default module, okay, or built-in module. So we no need to install, okay, just we can use it, we can reference it and we can use it. So that is built-in module. Okay, so how to check whether built-in modules are there in our system or not, or Node.js has built how many, what are the built-in modules? So directly we'll go to Node.js. One second, I'll just increase the zoom. I think, okay. So directly we'll go to nodejs.com. Okay, let's go to nodejs.com and we will check there like what are the modules available in Node.js. Oh, what is that? Node.js, I think .org is there, right? Maybe. .org is there. Okay, so we can go to docs. So this is the Node.js homepage, right? So here, if you scroll it and see, there are so many modules available for us. So some of the modules I wanted to show that is here, I guess. Where is it? See, where is it? Global. Yeah, you can see here global is there, event is there, right? So similar, HTTP is there, HTTPS is there. So similar way, there will be some file system. Where is, here, file system, see. So these are all the modules available, like file system, you can see the console, that object, whatever we have discussed yesterday, right? So these all things are available in Node.js by default. Okay. So these all things, no need to write the code, no need to use it directly, no need to install it directly, we can use it and we can make our work done. So some of the modules are available here. So you can see the list, long lists are there. So you can go and check with this page. Okay. So this is Node.js documentation. It's a main documentation for Node.js. Okay. So that is one part. So these are the things. So you can see like crypto is there, path is there. So all have different uh, use case in our Node.js application. Okay, and these all models we'll use to do some operations. Like it will be very helpful for our project. Okay, so a project which we are going to develop in Node.js, that will be really helpful because of all these things. Okay, so that will be helpful. So next we have already seen the second that is user defined module. So we can create our own modules in Node.js application. Like how, see, we have created index.js and we have created some greet and module.export. We have doing export for this entire module, right? So basically we are exporting this entire module and in data.js we are using require, we are able to access all the methods or property from index.js. So this already we have discussed in module and export and import topic, right? Previous classes. So this is one way of this is one type of module. Another type of modules are third party module. What are third party module? Third party module is nothing but like, see, you as a developer, me as a developer, or there are lots of developer throughout the world. So what happens? So all the people, developers, they have created some module like they have created some group of functions and property and bind them as a module and kept them someplace in the cloud, so that instead of we writing it, okay, we can directly reference their module. Okay, that is the reason it's called as third party. Third party is nothing but it's a another person who has written and who has kept in the cloud. So we have to use that, first we have to install it and then we have to use it. Okay, so this is third party module. So we can visit this npmjs.com for seeing all the third party modules. So let's visit this in npm.js. Okay, so this is npm.js. So this is having the repository for third party module. And I'll tell you, whatever you are going to do the Node.js application, that is itself a module. That itself you can place it in Node.js. You can publish it here as a developer. You can publish it, I can publish it, so many people they can publish it here. Okay, so that other people can use that module. Okay, so similar to that, so we can go and check like one first popular module we have in Node.js, that is Express. So which is help us to create the server. Okay, so that module I'm going to check. So we are just checking Express. So if you click on search button, you will see the Express exact match. So this is one third party module. Okay, this is one third party module. So what happens, using this we can create a server. Okay, this is kind of Node.js framework. Okay, so using this we can create a server. So we are going to use this module very properly and very this important module it is for our project. Okay, Express.js. Fine. So this is the module we can use. So to install this, the instructions are given. See here we can see install npm-express. So to install in our project, we can use this command and we can install this Express. After installation of this module, we can able to use all this code which are available through Express. Like we can able to do require, and then we can able to create get API, put API, post API. Okay. So these are all the things we can able to do, but we have to install this. Okay, so third party module we have to install. Built-in module we no need to install, no need to do npm install, directly we can use it as a referencing. Okay, and if we are creating user defined module, that already we know, we are using module.export and import, we can use it. Okay, so three types of module is there altogether. Okay, so as I have mentioned here, like Express is one module for creating mobile and web applications. So this is only we are going to see in the upcoming classes. Okay, Express, using Express module, we are going to create our project. Next is Mongoose. So Mongoose is nothing but it's a object data object modeling. So what is happening? This is used for connecting to our database. Okay, so we have to connect to our database, right? Server has to connect to database. So how server will connect to database? How server will perform some operation to the database? So using this Mongoose library of MongoDB. Okay, so this is MongoDB is nothing but it's a database. So we'll discuss further like what is MongoDB, what is Mongoose and all. Okay, so these are the third party module. Because of this third party module available, also Node.js is very popular. Okay, there are huge amount of modules are there which are already presented. We don't need to do, or we don't need to write by ourselves any much code. Okay, to do such things. Okay, so these three are the modules. Okay, now next what we are going to see, we are going to see each one. Okay, step by step. So first we are going to see built-in modules. Okay, which is already present in Node.js installation time. So we are going to see how the built-in modules are used and what we can do by using that built-in module. So first module we are going to see as a FS, that is file system. So file system denotes whatever, like we create a file, right? So to perform any operation on the file, we will be using FS module. Like if you want to create a file, we use FS module. If you want to delete a file, we use FS module. If you want to perform any kind of action like delete, create, update, read the file content data, that time also we have to use FS. Okay, if you want to create a directory, that is folder, if you want to delete a folder, okay, so everything related to files and folder we can use FS default module. So no need to install it, directly we can use it. Okay, and further we will see path, HTTP and all those modules. Okay, so only important modules we'll see here, other modules we'll try to skip because it will take lots of time to go through entire modules and all. Okay, so only some of the important module we are going to check with this class and course. Okay, so let's jump to file system. So first module we have file system, and it is a default module, right? It's a default module, so no need to install it and no need to what is that? No need to install it to use it in our application. Okay, so just let's try whether it is available in the this package or not, in third party or not. I think third party also they might have created some reference. No, I don't think so. No, they have not created the reference, but they have just modified and created some modified form of the FS. Okay, so that is one thing. Okay, so let's here we'll jump to file system. Okay, so this is a Node.js documentation. Okay, it's official documentation. So here we'll try and go check the file system. So somewhere I saw. Okay, here is the file system. Okay, so here is the file system. So we are trying to read, let's suppose we are trying to read a file, anything is fine, just we are trying to see so how we are going to use this model. Okay, so here we are going to like reference the FS module, and then we are going to use it. So similar way we are trying to see here. Okay, so let's see. So okay, so file system module, as I already told you, like it is used for interacting with the file system, folders and files. Okay, so there are two way of doing this. Like one is synchronous way and one is asynchronous way. Synchronous way means if let's suppose you are reading a file, so till the reading won't complete, you can't do any other task. That is only synchronous, right? So already we have discussed in previous classes like what is synchronous operation and what is asynchronous operation. Okay, so if you want to perform any operations on the file, you can do using two way, that is synchronous way and asynchronous way. But mostly we have to prefer asynchronous way. Okay, because asynchronous is nothing but it will not stop other statement or program to execute. Okay, so that is asynchronous way. So first we will, so there are some of the methods available in FS which are synchronous and which are asynchronous. So we'll see the list of the methods and we'll try to we'll try to execute all this list of methods. Okay, so instead of in order to use this all methods which are listed here, asynchronous and synchronous, first of all we have to reference this FS module. Okay, so first you have to load the FS module, and for referencing this FS module you no need to do any installation, directly like how you use console.log, same way directly you can write this require FS. Generally what happens if you requires means what, like see you are doing requires /index.js, so that means already you have index.js file in your folder structure, right? But to do FS you no need to create anywhere files or folder structure name as FS. Okay, it's work as a console, that is the reason it's called as default module. Okay, so we are going to perform read, write, update, delete on files and folders. Okay, so these are all the list of modules, list of methods available in FS modules. Okay, so this is one read file. So you can see here whatever the method name ends with sync, sync, that is synchronous method. Okay, so that blocks program execution. Okay, so that when we can use, when we have very small file to access, that time we can go for read file sync or write file sync. Okay, but when we have a huge file, like let's suppose there are very huge file to access the data from, so that case we have to go for read file or write file. We no need to go for sync operation. Okay, so what are all operations, like see, as I told, we have read, write, update and delete, right? So here we can choose, like see, read file sync are for read operation, write file sync are for write operation, append file sync is for update operation. Okay, for updating or appending anything to the file or to changing something to the file, that we have to write append file. Okay, for unlink is nothing but it's a delete file, so it's like a delete operation. Okay, same way we have mkdir method is nothing but it's used to create a directory or a folder, that is for mkdir, it's a asynchronous, and mkdir sync it's a synchronous. Same way we have REMDIR. REMDIR is nothing but it's a remove directory. So remove directory in asynchronous way or remove directory in synchronous way. Okay. Same way other things are there. Stat. Stat is nothing but it's a display the detail, the status of the files, like the MB it is using, and so many extra details are there. So we have to get to know about the file, then we can use stat. Okay. Status basically it's called about file status. Okay, either in sync or async operation. Same way each file, like see you have each file is nothing but it's like kind of a check whether it is file or whether it is folder. Like if let's suppose you are writing some file name ABC, so you have to check whether this ABC is a file or whether this ABC is a folder. So to check that type of things we have each file and each directory. Okay, other last way is one create read stream and create write stream. So basically stream also does similar to read file and create read stream. Both are same, both are used to get or access data from the file, but the difference is read file will directly read entire data from the file like at once. So if let's suppose the file is having 10 GB or 1 GB or 2 GB, then you have to wait to get all the 10 GB or 1 GB to access to get it load to see the file. But create read stream, what happens? No, stream is nothing but it's like a chunk of data. Like see, when you go to YouTube and you will play any songs, right? So YouTube does not load entire data and then it displays you. YouTube will have one buffer, right? So there is one buffer in the lining, like you can see the playing line, there will be a small chunk. So it will download the chunk of data. So that is only possible through stream. Okay, so stream also does the same reading of the file but in small pieces, not at once. Okay, so basically this read stream and read create write stream is used for loading or writing huge file, okay, or accessing huge file. So this is altogether brief about all this. Now next slides we are going to see how to use this method. Okay, how to use this method to perform read, write, update and delete operation. Okay, so we are just going to check with that. Okay, so first let's go for sync and then we'll go for async. Okay, so read file sync. So read file sync is nothing but it's a method to read content from the file. Okay, so read content from the file, but what is drawback is it will block other execution, right? So I'll show you that as well. What I mean to tell, what is the thing it's getting blocked execution. Okay, so all those things we'll check. Okay, so syntax is fs dot read file sync path. First parameter is path. Path is nothing but the path of your file, like which file you want to access or you want to read. So that path is available on the first parameter. Second parameter, like on which mode you want to access or which format you want to display the data. Either Bixi, by default, the format will be always binary data. Okay, it's like some different kind of binary data, 0 to 1, something like that binary data it will display by default if you read the content. But if you want to make some format, then you have to provide some options. Okay. So if you provide UTF-8 or ASCII, then it will display as it is. Whatever the file content is there, as it is, it will display to you. So we'll see without writing UTF-8 and with writing UTF-8. Okay. So two parameters I have discussed. Now let's go and check the code. So see, we are going to see this is synchronous already I told you. So see, we have one file called abc.txt. So in our Node.js folder, first we are going to create one file called abc.txt or any kind of file you can use. It's not like txt file only you have to use. You can access PDF file, you can access JS file, you can access HTML file, any types of file you can access. So this is the file which I have to access. So I've created this file in my folder. Okay. Next, what I'll do in the index.js file, first I will reference the fs module, right? Because with the help of this only we are going to read file. So first fs module we are going to reference or require. Now using fs module, we are writing fs.read file sync and we are checking. Okay, so first parameter was path. So we are giving path of the file. So path is / means it's the same directory the file is exist. So we are just writing / abc.txt. Okay, and here if we give UTF-8, then it will just print this is the content as it is, whatever there inside the file. But if you want to give this UTF-8, it will print in the buffer format. Okay, so that we have to check. So let's try to check this. Okay, so already I have tested before teaching, so I'll just delete this. Okay, so let us create one file. So I'm just creating abc.txt. Okay, let us write some content. This is the content of the file. Please refer it for reading purpose. Okay, refer it for reading purpose. So this is basically our file content of the file. Okay, now let's try to read this file. So let's go to index.js, and first what you have to do, first you have to reference the fs module. So I'll just write let fs equal to require fs. No need to install anything in your folder structure. Okay, nothing has to install. Now what you do, now you have to write the fs.read file sync, right? So fs.read file sync. Okay, now first you'll provide the path of the file. So path of the file is nothing but it's a abc.txt, and it's inside the txt API folder only, right? That is a directory I've created. So see, our index.js also inside test API, and abc.txt also inside test API. Okay, so we are just writing /abc.txt. Okay, and just trying to read. So once we read it, it will return some data. So let's store the data in some variable. Okay, and then I'm trying to print the data. So console.log result. Okay, so let's print this. So I'm just doing index.js. You can see it's in buffer. So by default, the content of the file, even though the file has these all content, instead of giving this entire content of the file, it's giving you result in binary form. It's a buffer form. Okay, binary form, it's giving you buffer form. So now let's try to add it the UTF-8. That is one option, and then we can check what is it's returning. Okay, so once I write this UTF, then what happens, the data will return as it is. Now see, whatever these are the data which were there in the file, right, in abts.txt. So same it is returned here. So now you can use this data and you can perform some operation. Like see, now you won't feel the meaning of the file. But let's suppose if you are doing if you have file, like let's suppose I'm just creating PDF, like something like student PDF, something I'm creating, right? So student PDF, I'm just writing some student data, something like that. Okay, like Sandeep, and I wanted to access this, right? So to access this, what I'll just write Sandeep dot PDF. Okay, and let's try to check. Okay, what is happening? Okay, what is that? No such file or directory open. Oh, maybe the PDF has one thing is like we have to open to read it, I think. So because of that reason, we are not able to read it. Okay, because PDF is binded things and all. So let's not do this. We have to open it. So I'll just rename it to some JSON. JSON. Okay. So maybe PDF has some other rule to access it. Okay, so let's write this dot slash, or I think it's what, student or Sandeep. It was a student, right? That time I think a student. We maybe written some wrong thing. Student.json. See, we have got the data, and it was same like PDF was also, I think my mistake was there. PDF also we can access. Maybe we got confused somewhat because of instead of writing student, I wrote Sandeep. So I think we can access that. I thought maybe it has some restriction it has created by default. Okay, we are able to access. Okay, so if you have JSON file JSON file you have created and their list of student data are there, and you want to access and you want to store it into your database. Okay, store in your that time you can access that file and you can store it, perform some operation here on the database. Okay, so this is read file sync. So this is good for reading small file like which have very small content, right? But if we are going to use, so what is mean by synchronous? Like as I discussed, synchronous means it won't execute, it won't till it won't read this, it won't go for next line for execution, right? So let's suppose here I have console.log hello world. We are just thinking like it's a different operation we are going to perform. So till this won't get read, hello world won't get print, right? It won't get print. Okay, so once, because synchronous operation, it will do step by step reading. Understood? So because of this reason, once this file reading will complete and display will complete, then this hello world will get print. Till that, hello world console.log has to wait. Okay, so that is read file sync. Okay, now next we are going to check read file. So asynchronous. So already I have discussed in asynchronous. Asynchronous operation always works, okay, in the background kind of thing. Why? Because asynchronous has the callback, right? Remember, like there was one story which I told you regarding in the mom, like Ram went to office and he kept mom, right? So asynchronous operation always have callback attached to it. Means whenever the operations gets completed, that callback functions will perform some operations or inform. Okay, so that is asynchronous. So we have to use asynchronous, means we have to use callback. So see, you can see here the difference of FS is path and option, but here it is path, option and callback. Okay, the callback. So this callback takes two parameter by default. First parameter is the error and second parameter is the data. So if let's suppose you are reading the file, but but there is error in the file, or you are not able to get that file, so it will print as a first parameter called error. But if you are accessing the file successfully, then you will get in data part. Okay, so in data part you will get, so all these things about callbacks and all already have discussed, right? We have already one classes we have done for that, right? Accessing the file, sorry, callbacks, what is callback, how the callback is referenced, how to create a callback and execute it. So all those things we have already discussed, right? Error first callback function. Yes, because it has error in the first parameter. Okay. Okay. So see, so let's again try to read the file, but this time asynchronous. So already we know asynchronous means we have to use write like this way, right? Because asynchronous means we have to attach one callback. So this error and data, it's a callback. Okay. So what happens, like let's try to, so we are using reference of FS and then we are writing read file instead of read file sync. First is we are passing the path, second we are passing the option, same UTF-8, and third we are passing one function, that is callback function. So once the read file will happen, then this functions will execute. If error is there, then we are just returning the error by printing some error message, or else we are doing the file content. Okay, we are printing the data. So whatever the successful data will be there, that will be printed by reference of this data variable, and whatever errors will there, that error will be printed with this reference error. Okay, so this we are going to check, and we have our file called abc.txt. So same way we are going to check. So now we are going to access student.pdf, same, and then we are trying to do read file. Okay, so for read file, no need to use any variable because it's not a synchronous operation. Already it has callback attached to it. So this is the callback function. Okay, this callback has error and data, right? Any name you can write. It doesn't mean like you have to write any like error or data. ERR you can write, or result you can write. Okay. So if any error will be there, it will call the error, or else if any data will be there, just we'll go for the data part. So we'll just write data. So it will print the data. Okay. And see, now it is printing the data. So till it reads, by automatically this hello world will get print. Now we are thinking, see, previously in the read file sync, first read file sync was happening, then the file content was displaying, then we are able to see the hello world. But in read file, what happens? It's asynchronous, already we discussed. So till it's reading and the file and going to print, till that time hello world will get printed. Okay, so here what we can expect, first hello world means other operation it's not going to block. Like you have lots of operations here completely. So that operation it's won't block, and when it get completed, then in that case this callback will get execute and just print the data. Okay, so you can see first hello world is getting printed. That denotes or that proves like this f read file is not stopping the program for execution. It's keep on executing further lines, and once the file read has got completed, then at that case it is just printing the data of the file. That's why this hello world is printing first and then it's printing there. Okay, so this is read file sync. Okay, it's a asynchronous manner. Fine. Similar way, we have now multiple things are there. Like see, we have write file sync. So write file sync is nothing but if you want to add data to the file, or if you want to, if it does not exist, it will create the file. Okay. So if you want to add data to the file. So let's suppose if I want to add data to the file. So let's try. So we are going to see. So we are how the reference is fs module. We are going to check, and then we are writing fs.write file sync, and we are just going to check with data. We are just creating the data.txt, and we are writing the data as hello world. Okay, we're writing the data as hello world. So what will happen? The file will be created. Okay, the file will be created. So the file will be created as data.txt. So let's try with this. Okay, so we'll just check with that is write file sync. So that means we have to store the response from that. Okay, so we're just writing fs dot write file sync. Okay, so write file sync. So we are just writing let's suppose I'm just writing hello.txt. Okay, hello.txt, and I'm just passing the context and hello world. Okay, fine, and I'm just doing console.log result, just writing like yeah file completion or something. Let's just print this result. I think it won't return anything. Okay, let's just print the result. So I'll just write clear, and there is no hello.txt, right? So just will execute and we'll see. So see, nothing is returning. Okay, so see, we can see hello.txt with having content of hello world. Okay, so this is the things which we are going to see. So this is write file sync. So similar, we have write file also. Okay, so we are not going to check for every methods because we know already like okay, this will write the file. Okay, this will write the file. So it's just trying to write it over there. Okay, fine. It's trying to write means create the file and add the content to it. That is write file sync. Okay, so similar, we have write file. It does the same thing but in asynchronous manner. Okay, it has the callback and something like that we are doing. Okay, so it's creating here list.txt. So this is small things. That's why I'm not going to again execute the same. Okay, now append file. So append file, as we discussed, like it is used for the updation, or it is used for the adding some data to the file. Okay, adding the data to the file. So let's try to append the file. Okay, so let's try to append. So we are appending in hello.txt. Already the file is present, and that we are appending. So in this file we can see there is hello world, but we are going to append one more, and the new line, if you want to append, then just do /n and just append some data. Like let's suppose I want to append hi John, something like that. Okay, hi John. So I'm appending, already hello.txt is there, which is having hello world. Now below of this I'm trying to append some data, that is hi John. So let's try to check with this. Okay, so now once you go to hello.txt, you can see hi John has been appended. Okay, but let's try if the data, if the file is only not there. Let's suppose I'm deleting the file. Okay, I'm deleting the file. Now file is not there and I'm trying to append, but this file is not there, right? So in that case, what happens? It will create a file and then it will append. So it creates a file and then it appends. Okay, if file is not there, then it will just create a file. If file is there, then it will just attach this content. Whatever content is there, it will just attach there. Okay, so that is append operation. Okay, so next we have unlink. Unlink is nothing but it's like a deleting the file. Okay, it's a deleting the file, but if the file does not exist, it will display error. Okay, it will display like the file does not exist. Okay, so let's try to delete. So we have hello.txt, so let's try to delete this. So to delete this, what we have, unlink sync. So we are trying to delete hello.txt and we have only one parameter, right? So see, we have only one parameter. So it is onlink, that's why it's having callback, but we are checking with synchronous. But it doesn't mean like you should not check with asynchronous. I'm just minimizing the time so that we can cover it up fastly. So it's your work, like you can just try with async operation, okay? So just I'm giving you the overview of things. Now see, the file has been deleted, right? Now file has been deleted. Now let's suppose if I'm trying to execute one more time, then I'm getting error. It says there is no such file or directory to unlink, that is hello.txt, because already I have deleted hello.txt. Okay, fine, understood. So this is for unlink. Same way for mkdir. Mkdir, what it does, it will just create a new folder. Okay, new folder where the path you are defining. Okay, so let's suppose you are writing the folder name as new dir. So this new dir folder will be created in your folder system. Okay, and then callback and all those things will happen. This is normal. So just I'm making mkdir. So I'll just check for sync test, right? So I'll just try to create a directory name called test app. Test app. Let's suppose I'm just creating the directory as test app. So now what you can see one directory will be created here. One folder will be created inside it. Okay. So you can see test app. The folder has been created. See. So this is for creating folder. If you want to remove, then just do rmdir. Okay. So it will delete that. Okay. It will delete that. See, deleted. Fine. So these are the remove directory and add directory, make directory. Okay. So same way it's a is file. Is file is nothing but it's a checking what is the status of the file. Okay. Checking if file exists or it is a file or it is a directory. So for that case we are going to use, and it's nothing but it's a status. Status that method is there. For that method this is file is there. Okay. So it's a that method. So just we have to see like await fs the file name, and then we have to check if a status is file is there, then it will just print some operations, or if you want to do just print. So that's why I'm telling, as of now you just ignore, because here are some promise. Why promise is required? Because this is a asynchronous operation, so that's why this has a default promises. That's why I'm skipping this as of now. Okay, promise. But I'm just telling you there is a method called is file exist now. So once I'll teach you this promise async await, then again we'll come back to this and we'll see. So as of now, just you have to see, just you have to understand, like, yeah, one each file method is there, which tells us whether the data or whether the file we are going to use, whether it is file or whether it is directory. Okay, so that is kind of check. Okay, next we are going to see create read stream. So already we have seen read file or read file sync, right? So this is like create read stream. So create read stream is nothing but it's also reference from the FS module. Okay, and then we have to provide same path and option. So we are using FS and we are doing same abc.txt and encoding in the UTF-8 so that we can get, and then this stream, because it will get the chunk of the data, right? So that's why we are writing read stream dot on. If data part is there, then just print, keep receiving the data. But if data part at the end of the data, once every data entirely got like fetched and entirely got printed, in that scenario what happens, this on end event will get called and they will tell no more data to read. Okay, so something like that is there. So we try to ignore this also as of now, because the event we have not studied. Okay, so that is the reason I'm ignoring this as well as of now. Okay, so next similar way we have create write stream, where we are writing but in chunk of data, right? In chunk, not in the direct entire data to the file. So this also I'm trying to ignore as of now. Okay, so these are only the things regarding the file system you have to get to know. Okay, so it will be useful for you whenever you are going to do project. Okay, so sometimes in the project you might have to upload your image file, right? You have image file, where you have to upload your image file, user profile image file, or product list, the product listing, the product image will be there, thumbnail image will be there. So all those things, if you want to store into database, okay, in that case you have to use this FS module. Okay, so this is default presented. Okay, that's it for today for FS module. Okay, thank you.